They said K-pop was just music. That it was only about fame, lights, and perfect choreography. But what if I told you that behind the glitter and glamour, there's a hidden world where idols fight demons, not with guns, but with their voices? This is not fiction. It's prophecy, hidden inside the most beautiful industry on Earth. The K-pop Demon Hunters aren't just characters. They are symbols of sacrifice, fear, and power. Born from a world that demanded perfection and punished those who fell from it. Every idol you've ever loved once faced a choice: sing or survive. Because in this world, music is not just art, it's a weapon. And the first to discover that secret was a girl named Rumi. Before she became the leader of the Demon Hunters, Rumi was just another trainee, chasing dreams in a city that eats its own stars. But one night changed everything. A night when the lights went out and something ancient woke up beneath Seoul. That was the night when the music industry's secret was exposed. The night when idols stopped performing and started fighting. This is the real story behind K-pop Demon Hunters. The truth the cameras never showed. The secret that turned music into war. But before you understand the war, you need to understand the curse. Because it didn't begin with demons. It began with a song. Before the world knew her as a demon hunter, Rumi was just another girl with a dream. A dream to sing loud enough that the world would hear her. But Seoul is a city that hears everything and forgets even faster. She trained for years under the blinding lights of an industry that worships perfection and buries imperfection alive. Her voice soft, haunting, full of pain, wasn't what the company wanted. They told her, "You sing like you're crying."
The words kept getting stuck in my throat. I tried to smile, but it felt like a choke.
And maybe she was. One night, while cleaning the old practice studio, Rumi found something strange. An unmarked tape hidden behind a broken piano. The label said only 3 words: "Do not play." They say music can heal, but this song felt alive. As the first note played, every light in the room flickered, the mirror cracked, and something inside her awakened. That was the Forbidden Melody, a song written decades ago by the first idol who ever vanished. Her name was Mireille, the forgotten prototype of perfection. They said Mireille's voice was so pure, it could move souls. But during her final concert, every speaker exploded, hundreds fainted, and she disappeared mid-song, never seen again. The world called it a tragedy, but within the industry, it became a secret, a curse, known only as the song that opened the gate. When Rumi sang that forbidden melody, she didn't just hear music, she heard them. Demons drawn to sound, creatures that feed not on fear, but on emotion itself. Joy, sadness, obsession, everything the fans poured into their idols, everything the idols hid behind their smiles. It all became power, fuel for something darker. That was the night Rumi realized music wasn't saving the world, it was summoning it. And every idol, every song, every stage light was part of a system built to keep the gates open. She should have destroyed the tape, but she didn't, because Rumi knew this wasn't an accident. It was a message from someone who had already faced the darkness. Someone still singing from the other side. That's when she decided if the songs were cursed, then someone had to fight the curse itself. Seoul had changed. The lights still glittered, the stages still shined, but the city's soul had grown restless. Every idol who stepped on stage unknowingly carried the burden of the demon frequency, a sound wave so powerful it could reach places beyond human perception. Those who were sensitive to it began hearing whispers in the crowd, faint echoes that no one else could hear. Rumi had discovered it first. The forbidden melody had awakened something inside her, something that could feel the pulse of darkness in every note sung by an idol. It wasn't just music anymore, it was a battlefield. But Rumi couldn't fight alone. She needed others' idols whose voices carried resonance strong enough to repel demons, yet pure enough to protect humanity. And that's when she found Jennie. Jennie, trapped inside her agency's underground practice hall, had been experimenting with her vocal range in isolation. Her voice, when tuned to a certain frequency, created shimmering waves of energy visible only to those who were sensitive to the demon frequency. The first time Rumi heard her, she knew Jennie was more than a performer. She was a living weapon. But recruiting allies wasn't simple. Every idol had their own struggles, fame, exhaustion, personal demons, and the whispers grew louder, more demanding. Some were lost before they could even understand what was happening. Some became puppets of the darkness, their talent twisted into instruments of chaos. Rumi and Jennie realized they needed a system, a structure to train and protect those who could resist the darkness. This was the birth of the Kpop Demon Hunters, a secret society hidden within the entertainment industry, invisible to fans and media alike. Their mission was simple, yet impossible: to protect the world from the shadows lurking inside the music, to harness the power of idols' voices for defense, and to stop the demon frequency from consuming everything. Each member brought a unique skill. First, Rumi, the strategist, able to sense the weakest points in the demon frequency. Second, Jennie, the powerhouse, whose voice could shatter barriers and repel demons for a limited time. Third, Jungkook, the silent protector, whose tattoos acted as wards, holding fragments of ancient battles. But even with their combined power, the first battle tested everything they knew. A new entity had emerged, one that wasn't bound by melody or light. It moved silently through the crowds, feeding on obsession and emotion, growing stronger with every scream, every cheer, every fan's devotion. This was no ordinary demon. It was a shadow conductor, a being born from the deepest fears and desires of the music world. The Kpop Demon Hunters faced their first mission: infiltrate a live concert, find the shadow conductor, and stop it before it turned the stadium into a feeding ground. They coordinated like a symphony, Rumi analyzing patterns, Jennie channeling energy through her vocals, Jungkook silently guarding the perimeter, wards glowing faintly on his arms. Every move, every note, every pause mattered, because one mistake could unleash the demon fully. For hours, they battled in silence, not with guns, not with swords, but with resonance, rhythm, and sheer willpower. The stage became a war zone, yet no one outside noticed. The screams heard by the hunters were invisible to the world. Each note sung, each vibration controlled, chipped away at the shadow conductor's power. And when the dust finally settled, they realized something chilling. This was only the beginning. The Kpop Demon Hunters had saved the city this night, but the hidden war had just begun. The first battle had ended, but the silence afterward was deafening. The Kpop Demon Hunters thought they had seen the worst, but what they didn't realize was the true enemy had been watching. A force older than music itself. A force born from the very first sound ever sung in human history. Legends called it the Conductor of Shadows, a being that could manipulate emotion, fame, and obsession, turning adoration into a weapon. It had been dormant for centuries, waiting for the perfect medium to awaken. And it found that medium in K-pop. The conductor's plan was simple: amplify the demon frequency through the collective energy of fans, stage lights, and the idol's own voices. With every trending song, every viral moment, every fan obsession, it grew stronger. And soon, it would be unstoppable. Rumi, Jennie, and Jungkook gathered in the underground sanctuary. Maps of soul, frequencies, and energy readings covered the walls. This wasn't a rehearsal. This was the blueprint for a war nobody outside the Hunters could even imagine. Rumi spoke first. "We can't fight it with strength alone. We need precision, timing, and resonance. Every note counts. Every emotion is fuel." Jennie nodded, her aura shimmering with faint red and purple light. "Then we sing not just for ourselves. We sing for everyone, for the world they don't know is in danger." And Jungkook, usually quiet, finally spoke. "I know what this creature wants. It feeds on obsession, and if we're not careful, it will turn every fan into a weapon against us." It was then they realized the horrifying truth. The conductor had infiltrated every corner of the K-pop world. Idols, fans, agencies, nothing was safe. Even some of the Hunters' closest allies had unknowingly become pawns. The prophecy hidden in ancient scripts recovered by the Hunters became clear. When the light of idols meets the shadow of obsession, the war will awaken. Only those who harmonize their hearts with courage will survive. This meant the K-pop Demon Hunters couldn't fight alone. They needed every willing idol, every true fan, every resonant voice to align. But even then, victory was uncertain. And the most terrifying realization struck them. The conductor wasn't just a demon, it was an echo of every fallen idol, every fan lost to obsession, every song that had turned tragedy into legend. It was alive. It was intelligent. It was everywhere. They had no choice. The hidden war had begun. And every concert, every viral hit, every heartbeat in the city could tip the balance. The Hunters took a deep breath. They knew one wrong note, one misaligned chord, could unleash total chaos. Rumi raised her hand, Jennie inhaled deeply, and Jungkook activated the protective runes on his arms. For the first time, their combined energy created a shield, a barrier between the conductor and the city. It was beautiful. It was terrifying. It was the beginning of the true war no one would see. But the battle was far from over, and the conductor had only shown them a fraction of its power. The real war, the hidden war, was about to begin, and the world would never be the same. The city had slept for centuries, unaware of the war raging in its heart. But now, every idol, every fan, every note sung carried a weight far greater than they could imagine. The conductor of shadows had revealed its true form, a swirling mass of obsession, lost dreams, and fractured voices, and yet, even in its darkness, there was a rhythm, a melody waiting to be balanced. Rumi stepped forward first. Her eyes, glowing faint red, reflected not just fear, but understanding. She realized the battle was never about destroying the conductor. It was about harmony, aligning the hearts of those who sang, those who listened, and those who truly believed. Jennie's voice rose, soft at first, trembling like a candle in the wind, then growing in strength. Her melody intertwined with Rumi's, forming patterns of light and energy that began to stabilize the chaos. Jungkook's runes flared, channeling protection and amplifying the resonance. The combined power of their voices, their courage, and their unity created a shield of pure sound, pushing back the shadows inch by inch. And then, the conductor spoke not with words, but through echoes of every song ever sung, every cheer, every tear. It demanded perfection. It demanded obsession. It demanded sacrifice. But the Hunters had something it could never take: free will, courage, and the strength of hearts singing together. For the first time, the city was safe. Not because the shadows were gone, but because the light of music had learned to fight back. The K-pop Demon Hunters had won their first battle. The hidden war was far from over, but a message had been sent. Music is not just entertainment. It is power. It is responsibility. And when hearts align, even darkness must bow. Rumi looked at Jennie and Jungkook, their eyes met, unspoken understanding passing between them. The world would never know their names. The fans would never see the battles. And yet, they had changed everything. The hidden war had begun, and the K-pop Demon Hunters were ready. The war is only beginning, K-pop Demon Hunters. And someday, you might hear their song.